Hi, my name is JD and this is my channel Frost and Forest. So today I got an incredibly cute deck in that was a deck that I backed on Kickstarter and exactly my creepy and cute vibe that I really like. And so I wanted to share it with you, and I also wanted to go through and start playing with some pairs because my brain after I got that deck or after I got this deck immediately went to what am I going to pair it with? What will look good with? So I thought, why not turn on the camera and do this with you all? So the deck that I am talking about is the Still of the Night Oracle deck. And so this is a very cute deck. So this is the back of the box. If you want to take if you want to pause the video to read it, but I'll just read it to you quick. The Still of the Night Oracle was inspired by late nights and clear skies. It's that feeling on summer nights when there's grass between your toes, cicadas screaming, and the breeze feels like autumn is just over the horizon. When music is half heard from another room, when the glow of light beneath the door frame says someone is still awake, busy, alone. These are the backs, very cute. I have shuffled it because I couldn't help myself and I just had to shuffle it. But I think it's really cool because this deck feels like exactly this time of the year. We are still in summer. We still have the summer nights, like when I'm recording right now. But autumn is just around the turn. And so we are, moving into Summerween or, that creepier time of the year. And so I think it's really cool that, this deck feels like now to me. I'll also say some of I think what are supposed to be stars kind of feel like snowflakes to me. So I could see myself using this in the wintertime as well, just because, it does feel like snow a little bit. But I think that this deck is adorable. As you can see, it has an image, it has a keyword, or not a keyword, it has sort of like a title, and then it has a number. This deck does come with a digital guidebook, and so it does have some direction about each of these cards. And before I start showing you pairs, I will read one of the cards. I'll pull a card and read you the guidebook entry about it. But this deck just is so stinking cute, and it's just got that kind of Halloween, kind of summer vibe to it. It is kind of interesting because it's black and white, and a lot of times when I think about summer decks, I think about, more colorful, but I think this really does bring to mind summer nights. So that's really cool. And it's just so cute. And it's got a frog card. Y'all know I love a good frog card. So this is just a cute deck. Okay. So I didn't show all the cards, but I'm going to do a quick shuffle and pull a card, and we will read what the guidebook has to say about this adorable deck. And then we will start doing some pairings. Let's see, do we have a card? Okay, we're gonna choose that card. So the card that came flying out is the Lantern, card number 1. That's easy. So for the Lantern, and again, this is from the digital guidebook, it says, the lantern illuminates and draws the eye. If used properly, it indirectly lights a way, but if stared at directly, the rest of the world fades from view and one is blinded by its light. Too bright a beacon can mislead the traveler and attract unwanted attention from things in the dark. So an upright keywords are discovery, vigilance, pathfinding, and a reverse keyword are observation, paranoia, tunnel vision. So I think it's really cool that there are sort of, you know, I'm not one to usually shuffle in reversals, but I do like that there is, you know, an upright, but then more of a shadowier meaning to the card. So that one is really cool. And I think you do, you know, in this imagery, you get sort of both perspectives of, you know, the positive and the negative attention when you are kind of the only light in the dark. I think that it gives you kind of just enough in the guidebook to think about it. It's pretty short, but it also gives you kind of a direction for this deck. So let's talk about some pairings. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. So the first thing I thought of, especially because the art is kind of a little bit cartoony and a little bit simplistic, the first thing that I thought of to pair it with is the Teeny Tiny Tarot. You've seen the Teeny Tiny Tarot before, you know it has that kind of same cute and creepy sort of vibe. So yeah, again, I don't know this deck super well because I just started, but I think the skulls in the Teeny Tiny Tarot, I mean, look at that, match super well. And I think the Teeny Tiny Tarot also has sort of that summerween, summer days, but also a little bit creepy, heading towards Halloween feel to them. And so I think that these two decks pair really nicely. So let's look at this one. This melted candle is actually one that I pulled earlier today, and was also one of the cards that I saw that really made me excited about the deck. But the melted candle, the upright are warmth, charity, and acceptance, and then the reverse is over generous and waning. So you can see how, you know, in the needles, that is swords. And so the Four of Swords has to do with rest. And so, you know, you don't want to be giving too much of yourself away. You need to make sure you have some of that self-care. But also, you know, the King of Swords is very diplomatic and does have those boundaries. And so, yeah, I think that these two decks are really cute together. Okay, so another one that I've been using a lot right now as sort of that summer ween feeling to it is the Silver Acorn Tarot. So let's see how that one goes with this deck. Okay. So you can see that these both have that sort of creepy, cute feeling to them, which is awesome. But I'm gonna be honest, I think that the cartoon styles are a little bit too different for me, that I don't know that this would be my favorite pairing. You know, and I also think that this is so very much black and white. There are no grays, there are no in-betweens. It is just black and white, and this has so many colors. And so I think it just, I don't know if this is my favorite pairing, but just because this isn't my favorite pairing doesn't mean I don't love both of these decks, because they are both adorable and creepy, and I love it. So let's check out a different thing. Again, kind of leaning into that sort of Halloween vibe. I would like to see how it pairs with the Happy Halloween Tarot. This is the indie copy, but I did a comparison between the indie copy and the mass market copy, and I just personally prefer the mass market copy a little bit just because it's a little bit easier for me to shuffle. But that being said, if you want the mass market copy, they were very similar and they look like a very nice pair. I think these two decks look great together. They both have that kind of creepy and cute vibe. I think that the Happy Halloween Tarot has, you know, it does have some color, but it does lean pretty hard into black and white as well. And so I think that these two decks look super great together. And I can totally see like jack-o'-lantern. Let's see what the jack-o'-lantern says. So the jack-o'-lantern says, jack-o'-lantern is a smiling reminder of the joy of childhood, autumn breezes, rustling leaves, and hot cider. The night ends when the candle is blown out and the jolly smooth pumpkin melts in the fall sun, its smile drooping to a melancholy grimace. So upright, it means nostalgia, cultivation, transition. Reversal means ephemeral and collapse. You know, if we are paired with the 10 of swords, that, you know, that nostalgic night has to come to an end. And when it comes to the end, that pumpkin is done. It has played its, you know, it's lived its life. It's done its job. But also there's always that magic when it first gets lit. So I don't know. Maybe not the best reading in the world, but even if the reading is not amazing, these two decks look amazing together. Okay, so, you know, I feel like Halloween was an easy thing to kind of lean into with this deck, but moving away from Halloween, I have a couple of other ideas. Okay, so another idea that I was thinking about is the Little Reaper Tarot. This is maybe Halloween adjacent. And oh, this one was in order because I had plans to do something with this deck. So that's okay. We're going to let it not be in order anymore. So see how we feel about these two decks together. You know, I was like, look at this. Isn't this great? You know, I was not a huge fan of the Still of the Night Oracle paired with the Silver Acorn Tarot, because they were both cartoon styles, but they were cartoon styles that felt like they didn't exactly match. And I feel like these two are cartoon styles that match a little bit better. And so, like, you know, look at this skull versus that. I don't know. I think they work together. So this, I think, is a very adorable, creepy, cute pairing. Like, look at that. Look at these. They match. They work. Okay, so I think that the Little Reaper Tarot was a success. Okay, I have a couple more ideas. Another deck that I was thinking about is one that also kind of leans into sort of a limited color palette and also sort of a more simplistic art style. Now, they are kind of different, but I'm curious if they will go well together. And so the deck I'm thinking about is Penelope's Tarot. This one also, for some cards, I feel like has a slightly creepy vibe, but maybe I'm misremembering. So yeah, like daggers and a skull, that's a little bit creepy. And the wolf. So I don't know that this is my, you know, most favorite pairing in the world, but, you know, I can also see kind of the connection there, the little bit of magic, and I think that the art styles do work well enough with each other. I could also see if I wanted something that was not quite so just black and white, because like look at the eyes. The eyes in this, in the King of Crystals and the cat, just they kind of match to me. So yeah, if I was looking for a deck that was not so black and white or Halloween-y, I could see these working together as well. And like, see, those people kind of match. It looks like a similar sort of animation style in some ways. And then, you know, we've got the skulls there. So I like this match, especially if I'm trying to get away from Halloween and trying to get away from black and white decks. I feel like these two would pair together. The last deck I wanted to try with this, and I know that this is just kind of a short video, this was kind of impromptu, I just wanted to show a new deck that I was excited about and show some pairs. But the last pairing I'm going to show is the Creatures Black and White Tarot. Creatures Black and White Tarot is created by Sarah Kathleen. She is one of my very favorite tarot deck and oracle deck creators. And this was sort of a different edition of her Creatures tarot deck that she had. She did a black and white version, and the art is different. So it's not like that deck that she had, the Creatures, was just you know, made into black and white. The art is actually different, but it is sort of the same feeling, the same vibe, the same creatures are in both of them. And so this, I just thought would be a super fun pairing if I wanted to lean into the black and white feeling of it, which I think, you know, I think this is working, and I think that that's great. I think, you know, this is going to sound a little weird, but sometimes with black and white decks, the blacks are sort of different colors. And so I think in this case, these like very solid black colors match super well between the two decks. Like, look at that. Doesn't that look great? Let's look at this. What is the window card? So this is, you know, peacefulness and slumber in the upright position, and insomnia, uneasiness, and fear. And so, you know, I could see this saying, spend some time doing some, you know, internal work and follow your own instincts, but also, you know, don't let the injustices in the world keep you up at night all the time, because you're not going to be able to do anything about it if you are not getting sleep. That's just a basic, that's just off the cuff. So you can read it however you want. Yeah, so I think that these look really great together. The other thing that is cool about the Creatures Black and White deck is she did put some oracle cards into that deck as well. So you'll see some of them, like Trust. So that is kind of cool as well. So yeah, I think that these two are beautiful together. I love this pairing. These two go absolutely beautiful together. I just want to read what the frog says, because I love frogs, and so I'm curious. So the frog hovers at the surface, but is rising from the depths, smiling to breathe the air and bask in the crescent moon. Or is he sinking, a final breath before murk and mud? So upright, emergence, acceptance, refreshment, and reversal, succumbing, sinking, and downfall. And so, you know, given that the sun is right here, I could really see that as a positive card. So yeah, that is, like I said, this was just a quick video, but I am super excited. I hope you thought this deck was as cool as I did. It actually fans out really nicely which is awesome. But yeah, this was just a quick little introduction to the deck. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could like the video. That helps, raise awareness about my channel. I would also love it if you're interested in tarot content. If you would subscribe to my channel, I do a lot of, I mostly talk about tarot, sometimes talk about books, I sometimes talk about my dogs, but a lot of it is talking about the decks I'm using, talking about new decks that I've gotten, or doing fun tags that I think are cool. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, you might want to subscribe. Anyway, thank you for stopping by on this nice, beautiful Summerween evening.